Hi everybody and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. I'm so excited to be back in front of the camera today. I was super sick last week. I got knocked in the head with a cold and it was quite possibly the worst thing to happen to me. Just kidding, it really wasn't. It wasn't the worst, but it was just one of those things that lasted for a while and there was just no getting through it. I ended up taking a sick day from work, which is very rare for me, on Tuesday because I figured, I'll get better by Wednesday. This will be awesome. And then I could still film. And that did not happen. I ended up having to teach through it Wednesday through Friday. And it was just so tough coming home after that there was no filming to be said or done. I didn't even read that much so I was sick on Tuesday. I finished a book and then I started another one. And that book took me until Sunday to finish it. I could not get my mind into that, reading mind. And it wasn't I didn't want to read it. I wanted to read the book. And I just, couldn't. I had to just, watch TV and not pay attention to anything else. I read the 100 pages on Tuesday. I think the next day I read, 14. And then I didn't really read again until, Sunday. Maybe a little bit on Saturday. There was just no reading being done. So that is why there was no video. Thank you for those of you who reached out to me asking when I was going to film again, because it wasn't that I didn't want to. It was just by the time I was getting home, I was just too tired and too sick. You probably wouldn't have been able to understand me anyways because I was so clogged in my nose and I was having coughing fits and it just was not a good thing. I mean, when I went back to work on Wednesday, I went to go do a read aloud, which is when you read to the students. Obviously, you read a book out loud. My kids had to read it for me because I could not, I was losing my voice just reading. So, yeah. At least now I'm back. So, yay. And then next week is April break, so hopefully more videos will get done, and I'm just so excited to be back. So, let's start with the weekly wrap-up because this has been a long time coming. My last video I said that I was reading Beautiful Oblivion by Jamie McGuire. This is the spin-off series to Beautiful Disaster. This is the Maddox Brothers series, I want to say. I think there's 4 books in this series. I could be totally wrong, so don't quote me. And this is the first book. So this follows Travis's brother. Why do I feel like that's not right? Yeah, Travis's brother Trent and Cammie, and they're kind of love story because obviously that's what all of these books are about. And I really enjoyed this book. I gave this book 4 stars, and I felt at times I was enjoying this more than I liked Beautiful Disaster, which is crazy because I remember reading Beautiful Disaster and getting so sucked in and loving that book. I gave that book 5 stars, but I felt I just enjoyed the storyline better, and I'm wondering if it's because I've read Walking Disaster now, and Walking Disaster was a disaster for me. I just really did not enjoy that book at all. So I'm wondering if because that book pointed out how unhealthy Beautiful Disaster was, that made this book look so much more healthier. I'm not so sure, but there are some points where it just kind of got dull and dry and just needed to be picked up and speed a little bit. But I did really enjoy this book, and I can't wait to continue on with the series. I've heard mixed things about the rest of it, so I'm a little nervous going into it. But I'm really excited to give it a chance because these covers are so stinking gorgeous because I love them. Peacock feathers. And then after that, I was still feeling like I wanted that contemporary feel. You're going to notice the trend. I was very contemporary this week. I picked up Brooklyn Girls by Gemma Burgess. This was a book that I received from Reading with Pugs. So Jennifer, which you should check out her channel because she's back. I'm so excited she's back filming stuff. So definitely go check her out. So this is kind of a new adult because these characters are 22 years old. This is the first book in a series. There's a couple more. I think there's 2 or 3 more after this one. And it follows these girls who live in Brooklyn together. They're just recently out of college. And this one follows Pia. And she is a mess, hot mess in the beginning of the book. And obviously, things turn her life around to figure out who she is as a person and an adult. And I kind of enjoyed this. I gave this 3 stars. I don't know if I said that already. But I just felt like I couldn't 100% connect to it because it felt very unrealistic. At points, like this girl is basically like a girl who was born with a silver spoon in her mouth. Yet she decides one day, oh, I'm just gonna open this food truck and it's gonna be amazing. And she ends up like trying to open this food truck, and it's just like I watched Food Network. I've watched the next food truck, whatever. I'm not pronouncing that right. The food truck race. I know it's not easy to open a food truck, and they made this look way super easy. And I just didn't like the life choices. Like, I understand maybe because I wasn't a silver spoon child. I don't know. Maybe this is what life is like for them. Like, I don't know. Life was kind of bothering me. Like, the things that she was getting herself into, I'm like, come on. I know you're 22, but you've got to be at least a little bit smarter than that. But I thought it was interesting, and like I said, it's a companion series, so the next book won't necessarily follow Pia. So I might be interested to pick that up, but we'll see. The next book I read was The Dream Dress by Janice Thompson. This is one of those books that was like calling to me. I was looking at it, and it was right around Easter that I picked this up. I think it was actually on Easter that I picked this book up. And I was like so excited for it because I was like, it's got the colors of Easter. It's going to be so much fun. And this one let me down. I loved the first two books. I gave the first two books 5 stars. And this one I think I gave 4 stars. Yeah, definitely. I gave it 4 stars because I just didn't love it as much as I anticipated. She seemed very cheesy in this one, and like, obviously they're all kind of Christian romances, but like this one really was like, God will lead you in the right direction. God, God, God. And like, I love God, but sometimes there's just too much mention of it where it's kind of like, yeah, I'm glad that God is leading you in the right direction, but we could stop mentioning it now. Like, we get it. So, I don't know, that was kind of irritating to me because the other books, it wasn't so in your face, and this one it felt very in your face, and I just wanted the story. And the love story seemed to come out of nowhere in this one. There wasn't a lot of build-up. It wasn't like this like heated relationship like the other ones were, where it was like they didn't want to be with each other, but they wanted to be with each other and that like kind of thing. Like, this was just kind of like, oh, hi, oh, now we're together. Like, it just seemed too easy. Like, he wasn't in the story as much as the last books had their characters like almost together all the time. They didn't really have a ton of interaction to really fully make this make sense in my head. But I still really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to get to the 4th and final book of this series. So excited. Then the book that took me forever. So I had started this one on Easter, but I like finished it Tuesday morning because Easter is a busy time. And then I picked this book up because I figured, hey, I've been wanting to read this book forever, and it was one of those books that was like on my shelf, and it was kind of calling my name, / I felt guilty for picking it up, but I was like, no, remember, we don't have guilt in this bookshelf anymore. So I picked it up, and that was The Last Anniversary by Leanne Moriarty. And if you know me at all, you know I love Leanne Moriarty. There was only one book that I wasn't crazy about, and that was The Hypnotist Love Story. And I ended up giving this book 4 stars. This book wasn't necessarily bad. It just, for some reason, was not gripping me enough. It just felt like there was too many characters. I think this was possibly her first book. Don't quote me. I could be totally wrong. But, no, this was her second book. So, like, there were so many characters, and it was so hard to keep track of whose story was whose and what was happening and how they interconnected, and that was tough for me, but I loved the storyline. It's about this girl, and she dated this guy, and they broke up, like, in a tragic kind of breakup, and later, a couple years later, like, he's already moved on, he's been remarried, he has a child, she's still single. She finds out that his aunt, who was, like, part of this island, because there's, like, this island that his family, like, owns, and she died and has left her the house. And so there's that storyline, and then there's also the storyline on this island. There's this murder mystery still kind of going on. Because years and years and years and years ago, there was this baby that these 2 girls, so one of them is the aunt that left the house, found this baby abandoned with, like, the parents are just missing. And, like, there's always been this case of what happened to these parents. Where did they disappear to? And it was really intriguing. Like I said, I just wish that there was a little bit more cohesiveness to it. In the end, part of it bothered me. There's something that happens with that main woman character that I just didn't agree with necessarily, but I could see why other people might like that part, but I just could do without that. But other than that, I still enjoyed it. I've pre-ordered Leanne's new book. Her book, Truly, Madly, Deeply, or something like that, comes out in June or July. So excited. Already pre-ordered that one. And then the last book, because I finally finished this on Sunday, I was like, I need to read a book on top of that. So I read Happily Ever After by Elizabeth Maxwell, and I read this all in one day, like at one night, really, after I finished that book. This book was such a fast read. I gave it 3 stars, though. I wasn't really crazy about it. It's about this woman who's like this divorcee who has a daughter, but secretly writes erotic fiction. And one day, her erotic fiction kind of comes to life in a way, and she has to figure out how to solve this problem, and it just seemed very, very unrealistic. They tried to bring like this realistic character to a book, and then all of a sudden made it completely fantastical, which was weird for me. So I didn't 100% enjoy this, but at least it was a really quick read. So if you're looking for a quick read with kind of something different, I would definitely recommend this book. And then the book that I am currently reading, I started it last night, and I had a delay this morning because of snow. So I was like, I'm going to read this morning, because yesterday we had a delay too, and I ended up sleeping the whole delay away. But today I definitely decided to read, and I am reading Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys. And this book is so good. This is my first book by her. I've been wanting to give her a chance for a really long time, but so far, really enjoying it. I only have this little bit left, and so as soon as I finish filming some videos, I'm definitely going to go finish this. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you guys really soon. I'm going to be making my TBR video next.